Mike Bresnahan. Allie's over there. She'll be joining us later. The gang is all here. Lakers preseason opener. They lose. But there were definitely some bright spots, some highlights, great energy in the building. That was fun to see. And Hoops is back. What are some of your takeaways, Rob?
You know, I like the energy. I like the new guys that are going to be playing significant minutes. So you have to look at the whole. I know a lot of people say, well, we look at the second half. I want to look at the first half in preseason because that's when you're going to see the true nature of a team, how they're going to come out and play, because by the time that second or third and fourth unit gets in there, the offense is not going to run that smooth. The defense is not going to click. But if you look at the guys, Monk, THT, Nunn, those were the guys I was looking at to see if they improved from the last season. I think those guys did.
Yeah, I think the key is who's going to fit in with the players or who's going to play the most minutes. We kind of know who the guys are going to play most of the minutes. Yeah. But we need those guys like you mentioned, Rob, Nunn, who was great in Miami. He's a mini microwave, can put up points right away. Monk, we saw what he can do. Come in, shooting a high percentage from three. Guys like that. You know, so I think it's just a matter that the coaching staff is looking at some of these younger players and saying, you know, how are they going to fit in with some of these veteran players? And I think we saw some really good, you know, anticipation, you know, and the possibilities tonight.
Yeah, you know, first day of free agency, the Lakers went after the, let's say, experienced players. They signed Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore. Second day, they got a little bit younger. They picked up Nunn, Monk, and re-signed Taylor Horton-Tucker. And those three are only three of the four guys that are under the age of 32 for this team. So if those three guys can really get their game going, they all showed definitely some certain little things today where you're like, these guys can play basketball. That would really help this team.
You know, coming into this game, a lot of the talk was no stars were going to play. You saw that on the Brooklyn side, and you saw that on the Lakers side, except for one, AD. He did give the Lakers 11 minutes in that first quarter, 6 points. We saw a little inside game, a little outside. How did AD look to you?
Started the game off with a drive and one.
And that's all you needed to see?
That's all I needed to see.
Did you want to get him out at that point?
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, take it easy. And I saw him do his pat and step back that he's been working on a lot. I saw a lot of the things that you want to see out of him with the energy, the effort, but more importantly, his conditioning. To me, his conditioning looked good. He didn't do that grab it under short thing like you see a lot of guys do in preseason. That lets me know that he came into this year in shape. You know, we look at his body. You can tell by his body, but sometimes the body doesn't show what the win is. And I think his win is good, so he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I saw. I mean, sometimes when you pick up a few extra pounds, you know, up top. I remember when Robert Horry picked up, you know, 15, 20 pounds, but it was all muscle.
We've talked about that.
Well, he went from small forward to like really playing a lot of power forward and center. And I've never had to do that, but I would think that when you pick up a few extra pounds, you know, it's a few extra pounds you got to carry. And I'm thinking he might want to just get some reps in, get his wind going again. He looks in good shape, but you know, you pick up extra few pounds, that's a few more pounds you got to carry around. So I don't know, maybe that's a little adjustment he's looking to make.
Yeah, I picked up about 15, 20 over the last year and a half, but I don't think it's muscle, guys. Definitely not the type you want. When I walked past AD on media day, it was pretty evident this guy has really worked on his physical stature. And obviously the season did not end the way he wanted it to. He missed half their games, really not much of a presence towards the end of their first-round playoff loss. So he definitely went to work on himself, and it looked really good. Just the eye test on Tuesday at media day. That's when I realized he's going to be pretty strong down low in the post.
A lot of position battles. James, you had mentioned that is one thing that we will be watching over the next few weeks. You basically know the vets and the stars that will be a part of this team. The young guys did show out today. That was nice. They brought the energy for the crowd, too. I do want to talk about Malik Monk. Friday at training camp and just throughout the week, his name kept popping up, talking to Frank, talking to veterans. 19 points in 20 minutes, James. 6 for 12, 3 for 6 from 3, but also doing it on both sides of the ball. Now, he's a guy that took a big chance coming here after a good season in Charlotte.
Wants to win.
Knowing that minutes aren't guaranteed.
Knows that winning covers everything. And, you know, the one thing I like about Monk coming to a team like this that's kind of loaded, he's confident in his game. He's confident. He could have gone anywhere, any other team, and I think his mentality is the same because he's arrived. He knows he can play. He knows what he's capable of doing against anybody on the floor. So I think this might have been a big challenge for him coming to play with LeBron, coming to play with AD, coming to play with Coach Vogel to say, look, I fit in here. I can help here. He had to know that, and he had to feel confident knowing that coming here taking that chance.
One correction, 15 points in 20 minutes, not 19. I was
That's
excited.
Still nice. That's still nice.
Still nice.
That's still nice. But, you know, think about sometimes you look at Monk. When he was in Charlotte, he was under a lot of pressure. You know, he had to perform. Right now, he has no pressure. So he can just play free as a bird and do what he wants to do. So I'm looking for him to be very successful here because the pressure's going to be on the big three that we always talk about. But I think he's going to be successful because there's so much attention going to those guys. He's going to get the little pull-up jumpers like we saw tonight. He's going to get the open threes. So he's going to be very beneficial to the Lakers down the stretch.
Yeah, we said during the offseason, all right, who's going to be the starting two? We talked about Wayne Ellington, maybe Kent Bazemore, maybe THT. Not a lot of chatter about Malik Monk being the starting shooting guard. I'm not in the mood for him.
123-97. Brooklyn gets the win here in preseason game number 1. Bruce Brown with 12, Millsap with 10. Anthony Davis plays 11 minutes. He goes 2 for 6. Malik Monk plays 20 minutes. He has 15. THT does his thing. Let's go back to Staples Center. Anthony Davis is speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
Where do you think you guys are at compared to where you want to be in, 2 weeks and a couple days since the actual regular season starts?
Oh, we're way behind. Getting movement on offense, quality shots, defensively, talking, getting our schemes right, rebounding, very huge. We're not boxing out. And that was the main takeaway. Just, offensive come, we're not really too worried about it, especially when we get Brian Melo, TA, Russ out there. But it was just our first game to see where we are, and we had to do a better job defensively, especially blocking out.
Was it important to you to play in this one, AD, even if just for a quarter? Frank had alluded to a conversation you guys had, and, LeBron didn't play at Westbrook. What was that about, and how did you feel actually just getting out there?
I just wanted to play. Didn't play much last season, from the injury, but I just, just wanted to get back and get a rhythm. That way, going into the season, I have a rhythm and ready to go. So that's really what it is, just getting a rhythm, whether it's for a quarter, 2 quarters, whatever it is. Start building these habits.
AD, there's going to be a lot of these milestones we go through as we get back towards normalcy, but just having 16,000 fans in Staples Center when you guys played in the playoffs, you didn't have that many. There were that many in Phoenix, but not here. Just the atmosphere.
It was great. To just come out the tunnel and you see fans right there, you smacking their hands again, like just the little things, which was really good to be back out there and see fans and them cheering us on and things like that. Courtside again, like, getting back to normal. And, to see that, hopefully we can get to that 20 again and more fans come. Obviously the first preseason game and things like that, but it felt good to see fans out there in full effect.
I know you've done some workouts with Russ, and obviously you've done training camp with Russ, but what was the discourse like on the bench and sort of getting an idea of were you talking about what you guys might do together in games? Was Russ discussing that with you on the bench?
A little bit. We were just talking more so about our bigs, our spacing. I told him about a couple of things that me and Doe, do. But we talked about a lot of that stuff in practice. Obviously if he sees something in the game, he'll come to me and vice versa. But we haven't had much conversation today about what we see out there.
AD, what's been your impression of Malik Monk, and what can he bring for this team?
We're still surprised we got him. To be honest, he's such a hell of a player. We saw what he did out there the minutes that he played. He could score the ball all 3 levels, play hard, make the right reads. So he's going to be fun to have this year.
Perez AD getting 11 minutes. I'm sure Frank and the staff will be monitoring how much they play him during the preseason, but we've talked a lot about it all summer long with him missing 36 games a year ago, half the season, especially with the way the year ended, him getting hurt in that playoff series against the Phoenix Suns. This is a motivated Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and no need for the Lakers to be playing him 36 minutes in these preseason games. I think Frank and AD are both kind of cognizant of that. Yeah, he's one of the Lakers who's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. You know, LeBron probably thinking, hey, people are saying we're old. I'm going to be 37 in December. He's one of those guys. Westbrook never won a title. This could be his best chance ever with this team. He's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. And, of course, Anthony Davis, that tag kind of came back a little bit, that label, that this guy gets hurt. You know, it happened a lot of the years when he was in New Orleans. Happened last season, too. Not when they won the championship. He was great. He missed only 9 games that season, but missing 36 in the regular season last year and half those first-round playoff games. He definitely wants to show people that he can stay on the court.
I think he's in that mode at 27, 28 years old, Brez, where I think he understands that now that he is the guy. And going forward, you know, LeBron is still here. Westbrook still a great veteran, but at his young age, he's got to be that dominant player. Kind of like when Durant, you know, left Oklahoma, even though Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were up there, Durant kind of showed that, hey, I'm the guy here and I'm getting ready to take over. So I think that's his time. I think he's learned from playing with LeBron, winning a championship, that he's got to be the dominant guy. I mean, LeBron and Westbrook are going to be great night in and night out, but he's got to be the force. And I think he's ready to take that responsibility.
James, I think you bring up a great point. And Rob, AD didn't even get a chance to really celebrate that title. He didn't have even a little bit of an off season, really, like you all do when you win and you get to enjoy it. And then you get back to your groove and your routine and you go after another one. He does know, though, that one is not enough. And he's at a great age, like James said, and he's motivated, and he already has a title on his back. But it's not enough when you're one of the greats.
It's never enough, you know, because there is this little cloud that floats around you. If you don't win 2 championships and you consider one of the greats, that first one really doesn't count.
Yeah.
You know, so AD has to get a second one. You know, in this day and age, every guy now mentions my legacy, my legacy. And your legacy doesn't mean much unless you double up. And I think with him, he kind of knows that because he's gone out, he's played great in New Orleans. Yeah. He get in New Orleans. When he came into L.A., the pressure was on him to win one. And not because he was a player, you know, and he won it. And, you know, as a player, you want to always keep winning. James can tell you, after you get that first, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
You got to get more and more. And I think for him, he knows to cement his so-called legacy.
Yeah. Remember DeAndre Jordan, the most dunks in NBA history, Rob.
That's incredible.
And I think the guy that's in 3rd place was, I think, Dwight Howard. So Lob City.
In the face.
For sure.
The Lakers fall 123-97. Let's hear from Frank Vogel. He just spoke with Mike in the media.
Frank, did you have any general takeaways from the first 3 quarters of things that you had observed in practice and kind of wanted to see translate over to the game, or that did or didn't do so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a million little details that we talk about every day, and you know, as expected, some were good, some were not. But I think we played with pretty good pace. I like the rim protection of DeAndre and Dwight and AD when they're out there. I think, you know, having that type of length is going to be really beneficial to our defense this year. You know, I just think we forced a little bit offensively. You know, we only had 17 assists, so we didn't play with the pass enough. But you know, overall, some pretty good things.
Frank, Monk and Nunn both had some pretty efficient scoring nights. How open is either a starting role or kind of a key role off the bench? How are you thinking about that whole mix when you include, you know, Ellington and Bazemore and all the guys you want to get minutes for?
Yeah, those guys are in the mix, and you're really high on both those guys that you mentioned. Malik and Kendrick both had strong nights out of the gate, and I thought Wayne played well as well. You know, those guys are going to have big opportunities to earn big minutes and be a big part of what we're doing.
Impression of how he did and what you need out of him this year.
Anthony, yeah, great to see him back out there. First of all, you know, I commend him for wanting to play in this first game, even though it was a noon game and only really 4th or 5th day removed from the start of camp. You know, the desire to want to be out there is to be commended, and then I thought he looked really good. You know, he moved well, missed a couple of shots he normally makes, but I mean, you could just see the presence that he has. You know, especially alongside DeAndre. But then, you know, again, the versatility of when you slide him to the 5. You know, it's just a different look, and excited to see him back out there.
Frank, did this feel more normal, like just as a game than, at the end of last year you had relatively few fans in the building, and it just seemed like
we had way more fans than we did in the playoffs last year, which is abnormal, not normal. It felt more abnormal from what we've been used to for the last whatever, since the pandemic hit. But it was a welcome sight, just to see fans courtside and energy in the building, something we sorely missed.
Hey, Frank. Just Dwight and his energy, obviously a lot of fouls, but maybe some spirit, and got a good laugh out of the bench when I don't know whatever happened there, but what was your general impression of what he brings back to the team?
Well, the physicality, number one. We want to be the most physical team in the league, and we want to be a team that plays harder than our opponents, and he leads. He led us 2 years ago, and he leads us, in terms of setting that tone with our physicality. He's a monster on the glass. He embraces contact. Sometimes it leads to fouling too much. We can always pull back on that, but to get after our opponents with that type of physicality is what we want.
Frank, obviously you guys had a plan for who would be in, who would be out tonight. Do you have that plan kind of set for next week? Is that something you can kind of share with us, whether, is it going to be AD's turn to sit on Wednesday, and sort of how you're going to manage that? Yeah, we don't have those decisions made yet. So we'll see how guys are feeling. We'll talk to our, our main guys, Russ, Braun, and AD, Melo, and see how they're feeling, how many games they want to play. Like I said, we want to have them play enough games to get a rhythm and familiar with each other without overdoing it in the preseason. So we don't have those decisions made yet. Just a quick follow-up. With those guys out, how much of the continuity stuff and can you actually accomplish in a game like this? Just because you guys are obviously drastically different with any one of those players. For sure, but there's so many little habits, that can be executed by the guys on the floor, that there's a ton you can still get accomplished. And, I thought there was a lot of teachable moments, a lot of positives that we can reinforce, and a lot of negatives that need to be cleaned up. So still a very productive day for us.
Before we get to the bigs and how they played, Dwight fouling out was pretty funny, and just everything that went down with it, right? Big delay, Rob.
It's preseason for the refs also.
It is, right?
So
trying to get it right.
One of those things where, okay, preseason guys, just let it go. You look at how Dwight Howard's forcing his paint right here, and the guy starts falling. He put his face in the wrong place, he reaches back. There's a lot of things that went kind of kooky there, and then all of a sudden he gets a tech. The ref listening in on the conversation. Stop stalking, man. Go on there with the rest of the refs.
But then he was like shooting a free throw and he made it, but he was fouled out.
I think
that didn't count.
He lasted 12 minutes in the game, got 6 fouls. I mean, that's got to be some sort of a preseason record. But
he got some frustrations he has to let out.
Yeah,
he just got kicked off the Masked Singer.
Big games with me though on this one. It's the preseason. Can we just get it going a little bit?
Even during regular season, just 15 minutes over there, looking at a damn video that we all know what the outcome's going to be.
It took you 2 seconds to say there was no intent.
Calling back to New Jersey, looking at this. Dwight Howard turned his arms. The proper move is when you box out is to let your arms go to box out. That's all it was. It was incidental contact. Let's play the game. Stop all this, going over there looking at the freaking video.
Postgame show should have been done by now.
It really makes the referees look bad. It really does, in my opinion.
But big game, I agree with you 100%. And we had to have some fun with that. But I do want to talk about the bigs. We've talked a lot about AD and him playing a lot of the 5 and the sacrifices that he's going to make, but also Dwight and DeAndre and maybe mirroring what they did with JaVale and Dwight a couple of years ago. And let me give you these numbers, Big Game and Rob and Brez, because they weren't in there that long, but it was 18 points, 4 blocks, 10 rebounds, and 9 fouls. We'll take it every night.
Yes. That means the 9 fouls means that you're not getting anything free.
Thank you.
Okay? And those 9 fouls, all in one drives. They know how to play the vertical rule. It is a blessing to have them back to protect the rim and create some havoc in the paint.
AD on media day said, I think I'm going to play a little more center this year. Maybe even start some games at center. That created kind of a big little discussion amongst the media. But then again, you see a game like tonight, first preseason game. I know it means nothing as far as October 19th, but we saw DeAndre and AD both starting. So maybe it's a little bit of a preview that AD will indeed start at the 4.
Well, let's be real, though. Yeah. AD's going to be at the 5 in the fourth quarter. Let's just be real. So it doesn't really matter how he starts the game. It's how you finish.
Doesn't matter, does it? More to come on Access. Malik Monk, team high 15 points in the Lakers.
Hey, Malik, just wanted to ask you how the practices that built up into this game represented themselves for you, what your role was, where you were getting your offense from, and just how you saw that all fit together from what Frank's plan was for you.
Oh, yeah. We got a couple guys out. So it'll be a little different when they get back. But it played out how exactly how he said. Just me to go in and be myself, not to fill in the box or anything like that. Just go out me and be myself. So that's what I did.
AD was in here a moment ago and he said he was still kind of surprised that they were able to get you, considering your talent, and just wondered what you've noticed from him specifically as a teammate and just how you've been fitting in so far.
Oh yeah, actually all the guys are like big brothers to me, because I'm pretty young and they've been in the league for a minute, so they all just take me in and just teach me as much as I can in that day. Tomorrow they'll teach me some more stuff. The next day they'll teach me some more stuff. So everybody taking me in with open arms.
Hey Malik, Kyle. The competition aspect. I mean, you're facing guys who are older than you and who have experience. How does that change your approach to training camp? How has that altered it, or has it?
Oh yeah, definitely changed. I got to be way more locked in because they know everything. These guys been here. They can go out and LeBron can go out and tell you a whole 10-minute stint and will not miss a play. So that's how locked in I got to be, playing with these guys and with training camp too. So and they've been helping me. Like I said, they've been helping me a lot. And I ask a lot of questions too. So
Malik, I missed you on media day. Dave McMenamin, nice to meet you. What's it been like in terms of maybe in Vegas, or I don't know if you guys have any other chances to kind of put this team together, 11 new faces. What have you guys been able to do so far to try to add that aspect, get to know one another?
Yeah, like you said, Vegas. A couple of us always try to go, somebody go out to dinner, we all try to text a couple people just like say, be around each other. And we all want to win. We all want the same thing, and that's why we so close. I think we so close, quicker than a lot of other teams. I think you'll see it when everybody comes back and everybody gets to playing. So we do a lot of yoga together, things like that, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Thanks. Malik, Dwight told us yesterday that your new nickname is the Microwave. How do you feel about that one? And do you feel like that sums up your game?
They call me that, so I'll take the nickname. I don't give myself nicknames. But yeah, I think it fits well. I think it fits well. Perfect.
All right, time now, Rob, for Little Access 360s. A lot of young guys out there trying to show Frank and the staff, Laker Nation, that they deserve some minutes.
Hey, they got to
need some youth amongst.
They got to put their hands up.
Opener. He's speaking with Mike.
All right, Wayne Ellington, kind enough to join us post-game. Wayne, so different game today, right? Some guys didn't play, different rotations, etc. What's your takeaway, though, not just from today, but the camp building up to it and where you guys are at?
Oh, I mean, it was just good to get out there on the floor, get out there in front of our fans, just to get out there and play against a different team, obviously. We saw some good things, some things we need to build on, but it's preseason, man. That's what it's for.
You know, it's been a little bit since you were here with the Lakers. I know you have fond memories. What's it like just getting the jersey back on, walking out today? It was 16,000. Hopefully that number keeps going up. Yeah. How did you feel just having that across the chest today?
I felt amazing. Felt amazing getting out there on the floor and looking up and seeing all the fans out there and the fans being in the building. It's not like being in that purple and gold.
You know, one of the guys that you're going to be playing a lot with this year, Anthony Davis, did play early in the game. I just wonder what you notice from him on both ends and kind of how your skills and how your talent can complement what he does on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, he draws so much attention. Obviously, he's so skilled. You know, tall, long, can do everything on the floor. He's a guy that is going to help our team tremendously. Obviously, we can throw him the ball and, you know, operate out of him. So I can't wait to, you know, see him on the floor full time and get Russ and LeBron out there and show what we're capable of.
You know, I know you've been working a lot on your game since the last time that you were here and added a lot of different elements, especially the different ways to get your shot off.
For sure.
Could you explain some of that and how you think that could fit into the squad this year?
Oh, yeah, just moving without the ball, catch and shoot, coming off screens, using my teammates to help me get open, running in transition, finding threes in transition, just working on my overall catch and shoot game. I think, obviously, you know, with the person that we have on this team and the way those guys are going to attack and the type of attention they're going to demand, I'll be able to get some great looks, have some great looks tonight. I feel like if I can get those type of looks all year long, I'll be in great shape.
No doubt. All right, last thing for you, defense. Right? We know Frank Vogel loves to talk about the defensive end. Wayne, what does he want from you, and how do you fit into the scheme on that side of the court?
Yeah, he wants me to be solid, no straight line drives, make sure I'm containing my man, being in the right spot at the right time, being a great team defender, and all those things I can be for sure. Still learning the schemes, obviously, and still getting acclimated. Those things take time, but I feel confident.
Wayne, we appreciate it, man. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
All right.
What was your overall impression of today, getting this group on the court?
Oh, man, it was great. You know, just to be able to get out there, back here in LA and play. I had so much energy. I think that's why I fouled out. But nah, I thought the energy was very high today for us. You know, I know that they didn't have a lot of their guys, and we didn't play a lot of our guys. And it's the first game. It's the first time we actually had, you know, somebody else to play against. So, you know, we see some areas of improvement that we have to make. We know that it's only have 5 more games to get ready for the regular season. So, you know, I think we'll be great.
Hey Dwight, as the one of the defensive captains on this team, what did you think of the performance? I guess through at least the first 3 quarters.
The performance?
Yeah, defensively, and where would you guys?
You know, it's a lot of areas that we can get better. I think we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. That was key tonight, and you know that won't happen. You know, like I said, it's the first game, so we'll be a lot better. There's no need to panic or anything.
Hey Dwight, Dan Wick at the LA Times. Have you ever made a free throw before that didn't count? And what was sort of?
Oh man, that was crazy. The sequence was crazy. I didn't know I got a tech. I got a tech for standing by Trevor. There, a flagrant foul after the guy got a foul on me, so I got a flagrant foul. But you know, I understand. I gotta always be aware that the enemy is going to attack me. And I'm not talking about the refs. I want to make that clear. I understand that it's going to be a battle every night. I got to keep my head. I didn't understand the technical foul, but I am going to play hard. I am going to go out there every night and, you know, try to dominate the boards. But I know that I, you know, got to, you know, make sure that my teammates, they already know that I'm going to be physical every night. I'm going to bring energy. I'm going to talk trash, I'm going to smile, do all that. That's what I do, you know. And I know sometimes it may look crazy to everybody else, but this is what this team needs me to do, bring the energy, you know, do stuff like that. And the technical fouls and stuff, I didn't know I got a tech because I didn't do anything to deserve one. But, you know, I'm still go out there and have fun, play hard, and play aggressive.
Hey Dwight, the last time the Lakers played a game in front of that many fans was against the Nets, right before the pandemic. You played in that game, obviously.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long ago does that feel? And did that occur to you at all? Did you think that maybe there's a little symmetry of?
No, I didn't even recognize that, but you know that's why you're pretty good at this kind of stuff. But you know it was crazy tonight. You know, just having the fans out there, LA, man. Oh man, I missed you guys. You guys too, but the fans, man, it was great to see all the fans in the stadium, you know, and everybody kept saying 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and I'm like, just calm down. They wanted me to get some threes up tonight, but I'm just happy that we got a chance to really get out there in front of our fans and play, you know, a game. You know, seeing our fans in the building after the pandemic and all that, you know, it's been crazy, but